And now a quick word from our sponsor. Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor. It will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do it to it. Welcome everyone to the Daily Wrestling Podcast. Rock. And we are back. It's been a long few weeks. But as a wrestling fan, it's probably been the best time of my life to be a fan, and I hope you feel the same way. Tater, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. And yeah, the past couple of weeks has been great to be a wrestling fan, especially last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Actually, seeing it live and in person, their first televised event. Of course, you all know we're talking about AEW.
Oh yeah, man. And you know, I've gone on rants before about how I prefer going to smaller indie shows live because they're just more fun. But man, WWE shows, they're decent. You know, you have a good time, but it's not as hyped as the smaller shows. Until now, man, that AEW show was bar none the most fun I've had at a live show in my life. Man, it was insane.
And even us in the suite, we felt like we were a part of the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Hell, we were starting chants and fucking the whole damn arena started in with us.
Yeah, like I believe that I started the "We the People" chant.
I hate to break it to you, buddy.
Me,
Chris Jericho killed that last night.
I know he did, but I felt like it was important to start a "We the People" chant, especially with it being DC, our nation's capital. You know, we the people.
You want to let's talk about a good worker though here for a minute. Last night, Chris Jericho killed the "We the People" chant pretty much. Put down WWE creative over it. The crowd went apeshit over it. Loved him. Get this, he's a fucking heel, right? He's not supposed to be cheered. So like, just after that, he went on a tangent about Cody Rhodes, and in that tangent, he said Dusty Rhodes was a jerk and got about booed out of the building. You know, when the crowd is cheering a heel, something ain't going right. And since he's got the freedom to do what he wants, promo-wise, he remedied that quick. I mean, that was just amazing. I was like, dude, this guy can work.
And he did that shit on the fly too, because Cody and the Bucks are at whoever's running the powers that be are giving him pretty much the freedom to piss as many people off as he possibly can.
Oh yeah, and then he said shit on live TV, and the crowd broke into a shit chant. I mean, it was like shit. Oh man, it was funny.
Yeah, of course, you know they're on a 3-second delay.
Yeah, well, none of it was edited out. And I watched a little NXT, too. It was decent, man. I ain't putting it down. The smaller arena, it's all dark, and when the crowd's quiet, you can hear a damn pin drop. And it's just not as exciting. No matter how good the matches are, it's like hard to get into it without the fan interaction.
Yeah, like especially in DC last week, somebody throwing the wiener in.
That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I threw the wiener.
All the way from the
suite. I tried to aim for Chris Jericho's mouth.
Did you blame Jericho for the price you had to pay for that 6-pack?
Yeah, it's all fucking Chris Jericho's fault. I had to pay $54 fucking for a fucking 6-pack of beer.
Yep. Yeah, the marinas know how to get you.
But that beer was delicious, though. Not $54 delicious.
Sometimes it's necessary. I believe that was one time it was necessary.
Never again. I'm going to get drunk before the show.
I'm telling you, man, plastic flask.
Next time I will.
You can sneak a flask full of whiskey in and no one will ever know the difference. Get tater drunk.
Start Inoki slapping everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure you are, we are starting a segment soon, and all you got to do is send in questions via social media to the Tater. We're going to do a segment called the Tater Sack. And he's gonna pull from the Tater Sack every week and read your fan questions.
Read fan questions. Yeah, I mean, we all love a little audience interaction.
Yeah, so be sure to interact with the Tater Sack. Oh, no, that's out the way.
Yeah, but what about the pizza joint we ate at before we went into the arena?
I believe
give them a shout out.
I believe it was called Fuel, right across from the entrance on the corner of the Capital One Arena. Man, that place was packed. And I don't know about you, man, but I got to give it up to the hardworking men and women in there. They were on point as packed as they were.
Yeah, they were balls to the wall. Like it was pretty much standing room only when we walked in.
And everyone in there. Go ahead.
I had to pretty much force my way into a table.
Yeah, and the cool thing was everybody in there was hyped. They were wearing a wrestling shirt. I've never seen so many hyped wrestling fans at a WWE show in my life. And I'm talking, I've been going to shows for 30 years.
And didn't we even see a dude cosplayed as Chris Jericho?
Yeah, and there was a dude cosplaying as John Cena too, but I couldn't see him.
I mean, no one understood your sketch of John Cena either.
Well, that's because they couldn't see it.
Tried to offer somebody $100 to tombstone my ass.
Yeah, I knew no one would take that money because I didn't have $100 cash to spend. It was all on my bank account.
$100 to tombstone Tater.
Yeah.
Or $100 to let Tater tombstone you.
That I probably would have paid for. That's a lawsuit and a half right there. No, forget that. But man, it's been an awesome 3 weeks, man. It started, or more actually. My adventure started with going to these local indie shows called Pure Pro Wrestling, which are just badass and fun to be at. I got to go to Charlotte, North Carolina to Clash of Champions, and I got to give Charlotte a plug. That city is beautiful. I don't know about the crime rate or nothing, but the city itself is gorgeous. And that was fun.
Of course,
that was fun. That was a good father-son, wrestling event. Went to AEW Live in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and that was the most hyped, intense, fucking enthusiastic crowd I have ever been a part of, man. It was, oh my God, it was amazing.
And our suite mates were very knowledgeable wrestling fans, too.
Yeah, and they seem to be about our age or younger. I was impressed.
And I tried to start a few chants bashing Nyla Rose. I'm not going to mention the chants on air because we could alienate an audience, but you can pretty much guess where this is going.
I'll tell you, though, Nyla Rose is going to be over as can be, man. And I'll tell you why is because her mentor is fucking Awesome Kong. They were on Busted Open not too long ago, man, and Nyla is learning from Awesome Kong, and I believe that's going to be a good pairing, especially when it comes to getting somebody over. I'm waiting for the feud.
I liked how Rio pulled that out. It seemed like out of nowhere.
Do you listen to Jim Cornette's podcast?
Yes, I do.
Did you hear what he said about Kenny Omega and Rio?
Yeah, it was the same 9-year-old girl that Kenny Omega wrestled in Japan. She's been a professional wrestler since the age of 9.
He said something else about her and him that straight up was out there and not uncensored. I don't know if I should repeat it. Should I repeat it?
Might as well.
He said they're fucking.
Probably.
Like, I don't see a Kenny Omega and Nyla Rose feud going on. Why did Kenny Omega come out during that match? Or why do you think?
Because he has a Japanese fetish.
Or do you think it's because the match went on for so damn long?
I thought it was because the match went on way too long, and I thought from what I read of his lips, he looked at Nyla Rose and went, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh yeah, he definitely said that. I don't know, man. They didn't follow up on it this week. Of course, he came out with a broom wrapped in barbed wire and a bat. And he threw the bat to Moxley, which he picked up. But then Pac, he took a steel chair sideways, like the tip of the chair sideways, and cracked Omega in the back of the skull with it. It's pretty fucking brutal looking. Excuse my language. Moxley just walked away like, what the fuck? Why? I'm not doing nothing now. Like, he was legit pissed off about it.
Do you think that could be somewhat of a downfall to AEW? Too many overextended egos just going at it and butting heads at once?
I'm not sure, because from what I'm hearing, and I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and reading a lot of articles, and I think even Jim Ross said it today or this week, that the podcasts are podcasts. The egos are pretty much checked out the door. I'm sure they got some kind of creative, at least bullet points. I don't think it's going to be this fucking wide open, you just go out there and do what you want.
No, they have to be pushing some sort of storyline. They can't do, like, the title picture just be win-loss record.
Yeah, I mean, Moxley and Pac working together, that would be intriguing. I mean, both as heels, of course. Moxley has to be a heel.
I mean, the way he got cheered.
Every single member of the original Shield needs to be a heel. That's my opinion. Seth Rollins 100% needs to turn heel.
I'm just not a big fan of Seth.
I kind of dug him a little bit when he was heel, with the Authority. He could have been a little less, brown nose-ish. But other than that, I mean, dude, he was over as fuck. And he's boring as hell now. I mean, dude, they kept him off of Monday Night Raw because of that crappy-ass Hell in the Cell finish. Because they knew their fucking Universal title holder, who's handpicked, he just beat Brock Lesnar twice, was going to get booed out of the building. Tell me there's not something fucked up or wrong with that.
No, there is something wrong with it, because honestly, I don't think The Fiend needs to win a title this early. Because he's supposed to be this unstoppable monster. But I had an idea, The Fiend could come out and say he didn't defeat The Fiend. He defeated Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is weak, kind of thing.
Yeah. Man. I think they just ruined Hell in a Cell as a brand altogether.
Yeah.
A ref stoppage over a sledgehammer. I mean, come on. Triple H hit Foley with a sledgehammer. Brought it out against The Undertaker. Foley was thrown off the fucking roof of the cage and threw it. And they legit thought he was dead. And they kept the fucking match going. I don't think the cell's ever going to be the same if this is going to be like a precedent for future referees to just stop the match at will.
Yeah. And I also read something a couple of days ago that Cody Rhodes is trying to buy the rights to War Games from the WWE because that is something that it was an idea of Dusty's.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has the Bunkhouse Stampede.
Uh-huh, for sure.
And something else, and then War Games.
Here's where I see a problem with that, because War Games right now is primarily an NXT thing.
But
do you see Vince McMahon letting Cody Rhodes have the rights to something for his direct competition?
No, I don't. But the War Games eventually turned into what the Elimination Chamber is.
Kinda. They just put a roof. No, they took the roof off of it now in NXT. There's still two rings, cage around both rings, but they took the roof off for more high flying spots and craziness. Which both of the NXT War Games have been pretty badass. I'll give them that. They do it, I think, every Survivor Series weekend, which is coming up, actually.
And they've already booked a rematch between The Fiend and Seth for Survivor Series.
Yeah,
according to the WWE Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. That's gonna have to be, that's gonna have to be no holds barred or anything goes or fucking no referee, unsanctioned or something.
I think it should be a gimmick match.
I got an idea for a perfect gimmick match for them both. And it should be a non-title match. It should be a grudge match, and that's it, in my opinion. But get this, and the WWE done this years ago with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kane. And they had no choice but to give Kane the title for one night only because of that. It was a fucking first blood match, and that's how I think they should do this one.
Yeah, because Kane was wearing the mask.
Kane had nowhere to bleed from other than like his arm. And he probably, I don't remember, but he probably covered both arms up that night too. I have to look back on it.
Or like something twisted, like a Firefly Funhouse match.
3 stages of hell.
That was Bischoff's idea.
I don't remember, man. To be honest with you, you're probably right.
I think it was Bischoff.
I know Bischoff announced the Elimination Chamber, and it was presented on TV like that was his idea. I don't think it was his idea behind the scenes.
But and about SmackDown going to Fox, I thought it was hilarious last week how they were explaining the rules of a match for first timers.
Well, dude, they had over 3 million in views, man. They killed it on the ratings, man. It looked amazing. I'm sure you saw that. It was fucking phenomenal, vision-wise.
Yeah, it was presented very well, but any wrestling fan with half a brain knows what a fucking lumberjack match is.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're pushing towards more like UFC fans and football fans and stuff like that. And they're trying to bring in more a different demographic, I guess.
And any wrestling fan who has half a brain knows what the rules of a ladder match is.
Get this. What did you think of Cain Velasquez?
They could have done so much more with his debut. but I like the fact that he had Brock Lesnar running scared, because that seems like the only time I've ever seen Brock Lesnar flee.
Oh yeah, Michael Cole, I think, done a decent job of telling the audience who he was, but the live crowd, they're wrestling fans, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Who the fuck is Cain Velasquez?
Dude, I remember, I didn't know, I've never been a huge UFC fan, but just from reading dirt sheets and shit 10 some years ago, I knew about that fight, and I saw all the pictures. Like, if you've been following wrestling on the internet at least 10 years ago or whenever it was, you know who that guy is, because look what he done to Brock Lesnar, dude. He bloodied him up.
It seemed to me like in the octagon, all you would have to do against Brock Lesnar is just dance around him. Because he's that big and bulky, he'd gas out really quick.
Oh, all right, man. Let me ask you about a couple more things, because we got some guests coming on, some very special guests we've been looking forward to for a while now. Did you hear about, I think it's a Bellator fight, and maybe it's going to be Tito Ortiz going up in an MMA fight against freaking Alberto Del Rio.
Del Rio's going to get fucking slaughtered.
Man, from what I'm hearing, he's got like a legit MMA background before he was wrestling. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to say the least.
Del Rio's gonna get fucking slaughtered.
All right, last question. What did you think of NWA Power, the studio show?
I really liked the old school feel of the studio wrestling. It made me go back to when I was a child.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, I teared up a little bit just from the nostalgia aspect.
But I didn't understand why the Rock and Roll Express won the NWA tag title.
That hasn't aired yet.
Yeah, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, sorry to spoil it.
Yeah, that was during the tapings.
Sorry to spoil it. The Rock and Roll Express wins the NWA tag titles. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably for some kind of promotional or throwback deal. They probably won't hold it long. God.
But according to Cornette, they were Ricky Morton was still taking fucking bumps like he was in his 20s still.
Oh, they do, man. They've been recently on national TV the last few years. They were on a few Hardy Boy specials. WWE Hall of Fame. They still rock and roll like they're 20.
And
I don't know how they do it.
Robert Gibson looks like he's taking too many hits to the head. He's like all cross-eyed and shit.
Shawn Michaels is too, literally googly-eyed. Yeah.
Please see if Robert Gibson can take that many shots to the head and not go Chris Benoit on anybody, something's up.
Yeah, probably lack of steroids.
Or lack of Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that later. All
right.
That's
a whole nother story for another day, children.
Let me tell you all about our guests. Our last show, we had Pure Pro Wrestling World Champion Jimmy Parker. Tonight, we will have a tag team. One half of them is the owner, the booker, the promoter, whatever you want to call them, of Pure Pro Wrestling. And they're also the Pure Pro Tag Team Champions, Handsome Jimmy Love and Jeff Flowers. And, man, I can't wait to talk to this guy about booking and all that stuff and where their feuds are going. And, man, his wrestling fandom. I've known this guy for over a decade now. Since I met him on MySpace. That's how long I've known him. And I can't wait to talk about his wrestling fandom. That's one of the things I just can't wait to dive into.
I wonder if my old MySpace page is still active.
I don't know, dude. I haven't looked in like 5 years.
I'm going to look and see if it's active.
Taters and ribs on MySpace. Take MySpace back.
We're bringing it back. And here's another question. What did you think of the old spot with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes?
I enjoyed it, man. The star power on their first show, that was pretty awesome. Did you hear that Vince McMahon, they were supposed to be on SmackDown last Friday and being on the AEW show, Vince McMahon's like, nah, y'all are banned from the WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
But did you notice something off about Kevin Smith's appearance? Like, he looked sickly.
Yeah, he, from what I heard, he had a heart attack and some, like cardio or something, some kind of heart disease or something, and had to lose all that weight.
Holy shit, my MySpace page is still active.
From what I'm reading, he's actually getting pretty healthy and good spirited, so good for him.
Yeah, very good for him. Holy shit. That's insane that my MySpace page is still up.
Yeah. Well, I need to look at mine. I won't even remember my login info.
No, I just went to the web address.
Right. All right, well, I'm going to get our guest on the phone, and we will be right back. And now a word from another sponsor. Turf Unlimited, LLC. Serving the Martinsville, Henry County area. Now's the time to be thinking about your lawn over the winter. Do you want it to stay dormant? Or would you like it to stay green and healthy during this cold season? Now's the time to be thinking about Winterizer. We start our applications mid-November through December. You can contact us at facebook.com/turfunlimited, turfunlimitedllc@gmail.com, or give us a call, 276-226-3829. Turf Unlimited, there for all your lawn and garden needs.
It's okay. I'm going to get them back this weekend alongside my partner. We'll get them this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready, baby. I got a lot of ideas for this street fight coming up Saturday night. I got a lot of ideas. We're gonna shock some people. Let's just say that. We're gonna shock. Amen to that.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that.
Speaking of shocking, this makes me think of something. Are you gonna strap a car battery to this man's testicles?
That is a very good idea. That is a very good idea. I was thinking of a taser, but this car battery will work too.
Bringing the old shock stick, Mountie style.
There you go. Do you remember when they did the thing with Goldberg where they shocked him with the stun gun
that's what broke his streak.
Yeah,
when the fucking tape came off of the stun gun, and they were actually hitting him with the stun gun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It's crazy.
That wasn't too long before WCW went down, was it? I think 98 or 99.
Yeah, they killed that. They killed that company. I really hated that. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen happen in the wrestling business.
Oh yeah.
Other than 91, 92 was like the worst years ever in wrestling, and other than that, the death of WCW was the worst thing ever. I quit watching the product. I stopped around 2002 or 3, and I haven't watched it since. It was heartbreaking to see that company I grew up watching. It was gone. It's terrible.
All the way back. You probably watched it all the way back in the Jim Crockett days and
Absolutely. I grew up
Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, that's what I grew up on, watching it with me and the family, sitting down and watching it. Saturday morning, Saturday night after the news. I mean, before the news. It came on before the news, and then it went to the news. I mean, I remember sitting up and watching it, man. And, as a kid, it was some of my best memories. And then they fucking killed it. Hey, can we say fuck?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, too late. We've already broke that F barrier quite a few times.
Well, good deal. I don't want to be the first.
You won't be the last either.
Yeah. More than likely, I will say motherfucker at least a dozen times before we stop recording.
That's perfect. That's right up my alley right there.
That's my favorite word, motherfucker. Because it can be
talk without cussing. It's just impossible.
Yeah, it's just me speaking naturally because the word motherfucker can be used as any part of speech.
Yes, absolutely.
Damn right.
So, let me ask you, what year did you found Pure Pro Wrestling?
Oh, that was 2007.
Okay,
yes.
So not long before I actually met you.
Right. Yeah, we've been running it since 2007, and it's been going pretty good. It's the most successful promotion that I've ever ran. I've ran a couple of other ones that didn't do so well, but this one has really done well over the years.
Oh yeah, man! You got a pretty loyal following, and I've actually met a few members of your audience that I really liked and kind of clicked with.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like Bobby G and Marie Farmer, or is it Fisher? I'm sorry, I'm botching the name.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's the thing, man. The fans is if you can build a following in on independent wrestling business, on this level especially, you got to build that following.
Oh yeah,
and it's and of course, like I said, it's obvious without the fans there would be no show.
Man, you got people following your show from town to town, and some of the same people have been following for 10 years or more. So yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we got some that's been with us 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And it's always it's always really nice to look out there and see. If you go to a town like Montvale, Virginia, and you look out there and you see people from Danville that have drove the 2 hours to come and see you in Montvale, I mean, that's always awesome.
Oh yeah.
I still really like that. That's makes you feel good.
There's an older guy, a heavier set guy. I've never learned his name, but I've been going to your shows, last few years, and I don't make every show like I want to. But this guy, I think he's out of Lynchburg, walks around with a cane. Man, one of the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, Big Dave. Yeah, I love him. He's been coming a long time too.
Oh yeah, man.
He's a good old boy.
I can sit there and talk to him for hours, man.
Yeah, he's he follows us around. I think he's already got his front row ticket for this Saturday in Yanceyville. I think he already bought it.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I'm not able to make the show this weekend, but I'll tell you, I'm wearing a shirt right now. It says Love Street USA, if that makes up for it.
There you go. You got that Love Street USA shirt. That's the one everybody needs right there.
Oh yeah, dude, I love it. It's a throwback, man, and I'm a Jimmy Love fan, so I have to show that. So I mean, killing two birds with one stone.
Hey, thank you so much. I need to get some new shirts made. I had that one shirt with the Superman logo, and I ran out of those, and I never got them reprinted. I need to get another print done and get some more of those because they got people asking for those too.
Do you and Jeff have a team name, or do you just go by Handsome Jimmy Love and Jeff Flowers?
Lay it on them, boss. Lay it on them. What is it?
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the tag team name.
All right.
Cornbread and buttermilk.
Cornbread and buttermilk.
Cornbread, buttermilk, taters, and ribs. That's a perfect stable.
Hell yeah.
Definitely right now.
Now I can't really tell you which one of us is cornbread and which one is buttermilk, but that's the tag team name.
That depends on what day of the week it is. How about that?
Right.
It could vary. It could definitely vary.
Well, I haven't met too many people that don't love that combo right there.
That's my favorite food.
My grandparents brought me up eating that stuff. So.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff right there.
You get you a manager, call them pinto beans, and you'll be set.
Oh, yeah. Pinto beans.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that's my favorite food combo right there: a pot of beans and some fucking cornbread. I
love it.
Y'all making me hungry. Y'all gonna have to punch me.
Well, that's our show name.
Damn.
The Taters and Ribs Wrestling Podcast. We need to make a shirt that says cornbread, buttermilk, taters, and ribs.
There you go.
Like I said, that would be the perfect stable.
Yes. I can see us now, the 8-man tag, man. We take our big money.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
We get Blackjack Riker in the ring with us, we'll be made.
Oh yeah.
Especially with my 6'6", 300-pound frame.
Oh my goodness, man! Yeah, you definitely need to get with us. We need a bodyguard.
That's right. I'll start throwing taters.
Oh yeah, start throwing them taters. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna throw a few taters this weekend. I like beating up JPJ and JR for some reason.
Hey, beat him like a runaway slave.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I'll tell you what, J.R. Martin gets some legit heat with that audience of yours.
Yeah, he's a heat magnet, I guess you'd say.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm sure he'll kick his ass though this weekend.
Yeah, that last match in Yanceyville, when he done that run-in, my toddler got away from me and ran right up the entrance. He about ran into him.
Oh Lord,
yeah. I need to apologize for that. I'm gonna try to hold him back, during matches.
Hey, he's a dedicated wrestling fan. He wanted to jump in and stop his boy from getting his ass beat.
There you go. Yeah, he's dedicated. He's
well,
he's got a little spunk there. He can take him home.
Well, I'll tell you, my kids are massive, and I mean massive Sin Crowley fans.
Oh yeah, everybody is. Everybody's a big Sin Crowley fan. Hell, I'm a big Sin Crowley fan.
I am too, man. He can work, and but I'll tell you, man, I'm more in tune to. I don't know why, but I've always been more in tune to root for the Hills for some reason. And maybe it's because I was brought up with the NWO and all that. That was a different time.
Been more for the what now? I missed that.
I'm more in tune to root for the Hills.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like the only reason I rooted for Sid back in the day is because I fucking absolutely hated Hulk Hogan.
When I was a little kid, I hated Hogan. When I was a little kid, my cousin, he loved Hogan, and he was always all about Hogan. He had the little workout set. Jeff, you might remember the little 80s workout set, the Hogan workout.
Oh yeah.
He had the little workout set with the cassette tape with the soundtrack and all that shit. And I used to hate Hogan because I was the NWA guy, and my cousin, he was WWF guy. And I remember, wanting Hogan to lose on Saturday night's main event, but he always won. And I remember the morning I watched the WWF TV, and my cousin was asleep in the other room, and when Paul Orndorff turned on Hogan, I was so excited, I ran and woke my cousin up. I was like, Orndorff just turned on Hogan. And he opened his eyes like, somebody had told him the house was on fire. He jumps up out of the bed, runs in there just in time to see him kicking the shit out of Hogan. and Bundy flashing him and shit. And I was like, oh yes, I love it.
Oh man, that's awesome.
They power drived him and all. I mean, it was great. It was great.
I was always a Ric Flair guy, man. It was a Ric Flair WWF actually when I first got into like watching wrestling religiously. It was about 91, 92.
Oh, brother, you need to go back and look. You missed so much good shit.
I have. I watched a bunch of tapes, man. My dad had a bunch of pay-per-views recorded going back to like the Great American Bash. I'm thinking 86.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so yeah.
You need to watch the Flair Steamboat trilogy.
Oh yeah.
I've seen them, man, and Chi-Town Rumble, man. Oh my God. Good stuff.
So the best match that ever seen on TV. But I watched an interview with Flair, and he said the people always, raved about those matches and talked about how great they were. He said, man, we had 100 matches that were better than that they never saw.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
From what I hear, they used to do hour-long Broadways like every night.
Yeah, that was the thing when the champ came to town. They do an hour Broadway. I remember watching them in Greensboro when they would come in and they would go right up into the hour. And I remember this one finish one time. I think Flair was working. I want to say it was Magnum. It might have been Ronnie Garvin. Anyway, they went right up to the hour, and then Flair went over with the foot on the rope. Still, they made you think it was going Broadway, but it didn't.
Even so, man, I'm sure a shorter match would still been gold.
So, I never went an hour in a singles match before. I've gone 45 minutes.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
But, 15 minutes makes a world of difference.
I think I went 50. We went like 55 minutes, 53 or 55 in a tag one time. It was a 6-man tag. But the singles match, 45, man, that's pretty long time. I don't know if I could do it now.
Oh man, I'm sure you could.
No, brother, too many beers. Guts done got too big.
That's my problem, man. And you actually started training me a little bit back in the day.
That's my gimmick, having a big belly. You backed off.
The one match that got me hooked into wrestling for life was Mick Foley as Cactus Jack versus Vader.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what event it was, but I was just hooked on Mick Foley ever since.
Yeah, Mick Foley was tough, man. He used to tell him to beat the shit out of him. Vader was already beating the fuck out of these guys. When he gets them in the corner.
For more information about everything we do and for the latest wrestling news, rumors, gossip, and opinions, feel free to visit us at www.tatersandribs.com. That's www.taterzn as the letter N, RIBZ.com. That's tatersandribs.com.
To really lay him in, and he blacked both of his eyes and busted his mouth. Broke his nose.
I mean, he lost. Mick Foley lost half of his ear because of Vader.
Yeah. Well, they did that spot where he did the hangman thing where he shoots him in, and he went through the ropes and hung himself between the top and bottom rope. And see, that's a very dangerous spot to do. And if you're using the real ropes, like the Pure Pro Ring's got the real ropes, they're ropes, like WWF or WWE, and then there's the cable ropes. Well, if you do that with cable ropes, you can get killed if they're too tight, and that's too tight. And he didn't realize they were that tight until he was already caught in them. He was choking to death. He was dying, and nobody knew it. The referee didn't know. He was with Vader, and Vader's walking around, and they didn't know this dude's over there choking to death. So he had to pull the rope up, in order to get it off of his head. It ripped his ear off. But I mean, that was better than choking to death.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine, man. That's just brutal.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. I got my foot hung. You wouldn't believe how it. I mean, like the person that's never been in the ring, never experienced it, or the ropes, felt the ropes, and felt the ring and everything. They don't understand it, but I got my leg caught in the ropes one time, and I could not fucking get it out. I mean, the referee's trying to get it out, and he couldn't get it out, and it was totally unintentional. This particular time, what happened? The guy grabbed me on the wrong side to throw me like through the ropes, and I was used to him. I was used to being on the other side. The right, the right side. He would have been on my left, but he grabbed me on the other side, on my right side. And he goes to throw me through the ropes, and I go through. And I don't know if it was just, it was just awkward to me. And I got my leg caught in the rope, and I couldn't fucking get it out.
And you remember when that happened to me in Buena Vista when I broke my ankle?
Yeah, yeah.
That was a mess that night, yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous. That ring is more dangerous than what people really understand. And we even take it for granted after so many years of doing it. We take for granted that we're, everything's cool. But I mean, man, you can get seriously hurt in that ring. It's that ring itself is is a hell of an opponent.
Oh yeah, if you've never hit a rope before, they're gonna bruise you. I learned that the hard way.
Oh yeah, they'll bruise you all up out of your back, man. I remember the first time that I went up to Boogie's when I was training, and we're hitting the ropes and stuff. And well, it might not have been the first time, because the first time I don't think I did anything but take bumps. But I went up there, and we're hitting the ropes and stuff. And I get back home, and I got black. Like my base, black and blue all across my back, and it's I didn't think it would be like that, but it's that's how it is. I hit the corner one time and bounced out of it, and I thought I had broke my ribs. I couldn't breathe. I was gasping for air. I rolled out of the ring, and I ended up having to go to the hospital, and it was terrible, man.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, professional wrestling gets a bad rap because but I'll tell you this, man. Professional wrestlers are the toughest SOBs on the planet.
I'll tell you what, I agree with that. It's a hell of a business. People don't understand how tough it is to get in that ring and get bounced around like that. They think we're out there on a trampoline, and that is the farthest thing from the truth. If you pull that padding and that canvas up, and that padding's about an inch thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nothing, man. That's nothing. Underneath that is a hardwood floor.
Yep.
This is plywood.
People don't get it. They don't understand it.
No, it ain't even plywood. It's like 2x8s or 2x10s.
Yeah, we use the planks.
Yeah, we use the we got 2x12s, but I've seen them made with the plywood, like I think it's 3/4 inch plywood. I've seen them made like that too. But I would rather take bumps on the planks 10-1. That plywood, man, fuck that. Yeah.
I could only imagine.
I think the worst fucking bumping ring I've ever been in. You would probably think, man, what the fuck is this guy doing? I've worked in a boxing ring. I mean, you talk about fucking stiff. That son of a bitch don't move at all. When you take a bump on that, you might as well walked outside and took a bump on your porch.
Oh yeah, don't they have an extra rope?
Yeah, they got an extra rope. The guy that was running this thing. He was a fucking idiot, and he didn't want to use the ring. The promoter that had the license and everything, he had a fucking ring, but the guy didn't want to use the ring because it cost him more money. He said, I will use my ring that I got. He had a boxing ring. And so he brings this motherfucker over there, and we're out. I mean, I was like, what in the fuck is this shit? But, man, there was 1,000 people out there. So I told the guy I was working, I said, man, we're going to fucking have to take some bumps, And he's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. I'll give it to him, man. He took as many bumps as I did, And he was a badass, man. He took a fucking sky high in this damn. What is that move? No, not the sky high. The one where me and Clipso used to do it as a finish. Clipso would pick him up for a power bomb, and I would hook the neck breaker on the way down.
Oh,
and this motherfucker took that in a boxing ring. I swear. They thought he was dead. Everybody thought he was dead. And you know what was really funny? What added to it was that there was somebody in the crowd that had got sick, and they had called an ambulance for him. And the ambulance came through about the time after we dropped him on his fucking head. And so people thought that they were coming to get him. It was crazy, man. It was fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
That was the first time I ever met Lita. That was when she had really got hot with the Hardy Boys. She was really getting over hot, you know.
I've never met her, but I heard from other people that she was pretty down to earth.
Yeah, she was cool, man. I told her, I was like, we went to take a picture with her. I said, can we see the tongue ring? And she stuck her tongue out in the picture. It was cool.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I should have said, what's that mouth do?
Oh yeah.
What that mouth do?
It's not as bad as me talking about tonguing Bailey's asshole.
Bailey. You know, I'm not into Bailey. I don't get nothing out of her.
It's yeah,
weird face. I don't know, something about her face.
That's what I've been saying.
I like that weird chick though, man. I like her. I like the little Irish chicks, you know, little redheaded. And oh my God,
oh the man, everyone's in love with her.
Jesus, I don't care about her wrestling. I've never seen one of her matches, but I'd like to wrestle her at my house.
I hear that.
You know, you take her to the love shack, man. You know,
oh yeah, that accent too. Ooh.
Oh my God, it kills me. Oh Lord, don't even let me think about it. Don't even let me start thinking.
Yeah,
I'll be looking up leprechaun porn later. You know.
Oh, hell.
Is that what happens on Love Street USA?
Yeah, man. Hey, whatever happens on Love Street stays on Love Street, baby.
There you go.
I'm gonna send Becky an email. Tell her come on down.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this because we've asked Damian Wayne and Jimmy Parker. Do you have any good like rib stories you could get into?
Good rat story?
Ribs.
Rib.
Oh, I thought you said rat.
No. Nothing that'll get anybody in trouble, of course.
we know what's on your mind.
I know, right? You got me worked up talking about Becky, man. No, I've never been into the ribs. That's never been my thing, and nobody's ever really ribbed me. I'm not a practical joker by nature. You know, I don't know, Jeff. You know any?
No, not too much, because hell, I'm always working, doing something, getting ready for the match, doing my thing. You know,
I don't have any rib stories. I can give you some rat stories, but we probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I hear that.
I'm trying to stay married. You know.
Yeah. I gotta be careful what I say. My wife will be listening to this show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta be careful. But you can ask me anything else.
What about road stories? Damian had this crazy one about going to a show and like sleet and snow and you know.
Sleep and what?
Snow and sleet, you know, travel like an hour in the snow.
Oh, I've had a couple of those. In West Virginia one time, it had snowed, and you know, it was pretty bad. And I was riding up with you remember Wizard? You remember Wizard? He was managing me at the time,
yeah.
And he rode up, and he was driving. He had a big truck, and we rode up on his truck. But when we got to the fucking building, it starts snowing again. And it looks like a fucking blizzard out there. We're in the building. We're looking out the window. You know, it's like an armory. And we're looking out the window. And I'm standing there. I was talking to Tommy Young, man, and I'm standing there. I look out the fucking window, and it looks like a damn blizzard, like we're in the damn Antarctic or something, And I'm like, oh my God. So I go and pull him to the side. I said, man, we ain't gonna get the fuck out of here. And he goes and looks, and he's like, oh God, it is bad. It's bad. But, he said, we'll get out of here. We'll be okay. So we went ahead and finished the show. People were walking to the show from their house down the road because the Army was like in a little residential area. And there were people walking to the show. And it was packed out, even with the blizzard going on. This is West Virginia. I guess they're used to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we kept going and did the show. It had been long after my neck surgery, and so I wasn't wrestling. I was managing that night. So I can't remember who Wizard managed, and I managed the Outlaws. I don't remember who they were working, but I just did the manager spot. And we left, and we went to the fucking strip club. And we get to this strip club, and when I come in, there's this chick, man, just caught my eye. I don't know what it was. She was hot. And kind of gothic looking chick, right? And she caught my eye, man. I was, and I don't want to be like, it was a mutual thing because, she's working, she's trying to make money, but when she saw me and I saw her, we just kind of connected. So she came right over to me and we started talking, boom, 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 and everything. And next thing I know, she's talked me into going to the VIP room.
Oh, Lord.
And boom, boom, and we're back there doing, I disappeared for like the whole time. I'm back in the VIP room with her while Wizard and the Outlaws are out there doing their thing, And she didn't even charge me, dude. She didn't even fucking charge me.
Oh, man.
We're sitting back there. We sit back there in the VIP room the whole night. And she's just riding me. And I probably should. I mean, not like riding me. We ain't actually doing the deal or nothing, but, she's grinding, doing her thing.
Yeah,
but
like
she
strippers do.
Charge me, man. She didn't even charge me. And then I gave her the room number. Or, no, I told her what hotel we were at. But Wizard had booked the hotel, so I didn't know what the room number was. So I'm telling her, this is the hotel we're at. Da, da, da. She probably wasn't gonna come anyway. But I was like trying to get Wizard to tell me the room number, and then so we go out there, and the fucking bouncer locked me out.
Oh no!
He locked me out of the fucking VIP room, and she's back there, So that was terrible. I didn't get to see her anymore that night.
I'm sure. And I know her wives are listening, but I'm sure she'll. If that situation ever happens again, she's probably still working there.
Yeah, she might. Yeah, my wife don't give a shit. She knew I was going to strip club anyway.
Yeah, man, mine's cool about little shit like that, but I still don't want to. Poke the bear, lack of better words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'll tell you. One time I was going down the fucking road. And it was dark. I really needed glasses at the time, and I almost run off a fucking mountain. And this was up in way up in Virginia. Is Floyd, Virginia, up in the fucking mountains.
Oh yeah.
And, I almost run off the fucking mountain, man, because I couldn't see, and it was crazy. I've had a couple close calls like that. One time my cousin was riding with me. He went to sleep and almost run off the fucking road, and I smacked him in the fucking head and said, "You motherfucker, you better wake up if you want to live."
That's right.
Wake up and talk to me or something, shit.
Yeah, I can't stand that. You're on a trip with somebody and they're over there sleeping. You've been driving for a couple hours. Yeah.
That's my damn horror stories on the road, is almost falling asleep and killing my fucking self. But I mean, really, there early on, see, I just needed glasses. I couldn't see.
Right.
And so I almost went off the fucking road. I almost went off a damn mountain up there, and around Floyd, and it was terrifying, man. It was just like I can't remember the name of the road, but it was like really crazy when you go down the road, all these twists and turns and shit, and they're like really quick. It's like you're on a damn roller coaster or something.
Yeah.
And young kid, I'm speeding, obviously, of course, always, and so yeah, I almost fucking came off the road. It scared the shit out of me, buddy. I went and got some fucking glasses though.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
I went and got my fucking glasses after that shit.
Oh man, yeah, I bet, man. Yeah, it ain't happening again.
No, hell no. I was like, fuck this shit, man. I ain't trying to die up here,
Adrian wanted to kind of like pick your brain about booking and creative. Are you involved in all that, or does somebody else?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do most of that. Now I do. I'm not a micromanager kind of guy unless I have to be.
Right.
I'm open to the guys' ideas, and if they have a good idea, hey man, I'll run with it. But I like to pretty much, I like to be pretty involved with what we're doing, and and who we're doing it with. But yeah, I got a couple little things that I tend to do with booking. But I mean, yeah, you can ask me anything about that. I've been booking stuff for even when before I started Pure Pro, I did some booking. It wasn't necessarily good booking, but but I did do it. But I got a couple little things that I like that I think you should do when you're booking. That I just learned over years of watching being involved in a business and watching other guys and being around good bookers. I've been around a couple of good bookers, but some of them seem to, I guess at one point they were good, but then they just seem to kind of lose their touch. I'm not gonna name no names, but some of them just kind of like I watch them later on in life, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Because I had already learned, from other people and doing it myself, and I couldn't figure out why they were doing what they were doing. But sometimes with booking, it's like I don't want this to sound derogatory to any of the guys, but you got to work with what you got.
Right.
You have to, but that's always the case. That's always the case, really, with anything you do. You have to. My thing is, I always make a point to try to work with the guy's strengths, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And disguise or completely stay away from the weaknesses.
And I've heard a lot of talk about that with a guy named Paul Heyman. I'm sure we all know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard that was his key booking strategy right there back in ECW and all that.
What, just away from the weaknesses and stuff?
Yeah, display their strengths and hide their weaknesses.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you want to do. You want to always take care of the guys. And I mean, and the thing about this too is like, you're only as good as your opponent. And
oh yeah.
If you go out there with a guy that don't want to fucking do business, then it's gonna be shit. It don't matter how good anybody is. If you go out with a guy that don't want to do business for whatever reason, it's gonna be shit. And I try to put guys together that I know or have got chemistry or potentially have chemistry, and put them together, and it's worked for me for years. So there's some matches that people probably wonder why I don't book those matches, and even some of the guys have asked me about working with, they'll name a particular guy. Hey, I like to work with this guy, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not going to work. I mean, it's not going to make sense. It's like if you have a guy that weighs 300 pounds and he wants to work with a guy that weighs 150 pounds, that don't work. I'm sorry. It just, in my mind, it may be in somebody's mind that's okay, but not in my mind. And I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, the David and Goliath thing can only work so many times.
Right, exactly. I mean, and it can work, but it's really got to be a special, kind of thing. Like I know, Charles. You remember Justin Flash?
Oh yeah.
Man, this fucking guy could go with anybody. It didn't matter, But he was small when he started. I remember when he started, and I think he's probably about 200 pounds before he left. But I mean, a guy like him wrestling somebody like let me think, Crash Cassidy. You ever seen Crash Cassidy?
Oh yeah.
He's a big boy. I mean, now see, that would make sense. That would be good. But see, if you put somebody like Corey Bryant, Corey Bryant's one of our young guys. He's 170 pounds. Well, you put him with Crash, I mean, it's like it should be a murder, it should be a massacre. I mean, realistically, there's no fucking way that this kid could go 5 minutes with a guy that big. So, I mean, I try to book realistic shit,
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of realism in everything.
Yeah. I try to book a lot based on realism and what's realistic to me. What I think could work, would actually be a real fight,
Let me ask you, because for some reason it's in my head, and I believe we have an autograph on like a little piece of paper or something, but didn't Adam Page wrestle for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think we got that autograph. If I ain't mistaken, this was a long time ago now. The same night Lewis Moore turned on you and bloodied you up in Pelham. I think the Wizard was managing you. Yeah,
I wrestled Adam Page that night. Yeah, I remember that. I think I got that match on video.
Oh wow, I'd love to see that again. That Lewis Moore turning on you actually made. He's 11 now. I think he was 4 at the time. Actually made that boy cry. I was like, hell yeah.
That was some of the best business we ever did in pure pro wrestling. I'm not gonna lie to you. We did that. We shot that angle in Pelham, and the people at first, it was the weirdest fucking thing, because and I'll never forget this. One of my greatest memories, really, in the time I've been doing this, because it just drew so much heat, and it was really good for pure pros business. I remember when Lewis first hit me with the fucking branding iron.
Yep.
The people popped like they were going to cheer him. It was like you could hear some of the people pop when he hit me with it. I guess because I just had this match with Adam Page, and they loved Adam Page, and so obviously I'm the heel, and they fucking hate me, and so Lewis comes up, jumps up, and hits me with the fucking branding iron, and I hear the people pop, and I'm like, oh shit, that ain't what we were going for. but then it was like he jumps in the ring and he nailed Page. So it lets the people know that, hey, he's not here to save the fucking day for Page. He just wants to fuck me up.
Yeah.
So he dumps Page and starts wailing on my ass, and then they get with it. And they're like, oh shit, and they start, screaming for people to come out and help and whatever the fuck. I got some good pictures from that where I look like somebody shot me in the face.
Yeah, you bled worse than Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was a good one. And you know what the best part of that was when we went to Yanceyville for the cage match with me and Lewis.
Yeah.
We drew over 300 people, and there were no names on the show. It was the main event was advertised. I think I still got the poster. The main event was Jimmy Love, Lewis Moore inside a steel cage, and we drew over 300 fucking people.
If I ain't mistaken, you can find that on YouTube.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, it was great, man. We did some hell of a fucking business there. I mean, that was awesome.
That heel turn was so well done, man. I can't put it over enough, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good, and it cemented me as a babyface.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, was that a face turn for you, or like a double turn?
The people wanted to. I think there were some people. There was a group of people that wanted to cheer me anyway. Because I remember, before I turned babyface, we had a match. We had a big show in Danville, and the people were cheering me. I was working Jason Blade.
I remember him.
Yeah, and the people started cheering me. I was the heel, and they started cheering me in the match. But it was Danville, man. I started there. I mean, that's where I'm from. Boom. I mean, it's all these years later. Here I am down at the train station. What's the name of that building down there? The Community Market. Yeah. And we had been down there the time before that. We had 400 people down there wrestle beef. And it was a madhouse. And then I go down there and work Jason Blade, and the fucking people started cheering me, man. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Beef was a character. Wasn't he bald headed? He tell the damn referee that he was pulling his hair and all that shit.
No. Beef was he had long black hair, and he was a big boy. He was vicious. He wore that shirt that said Big Lick.
Okay. You gotta forgive me. I'm going back like a decade trying to remember off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, well this was like 2008 when I had these matches with him. When I was running the angle with Beef, that was like 2008. Beef was vicious, man. When you wrestled Beef, you knew you had been in a fucking fight. I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious. It was like being in a fucking fight. I mean, this dude, he'd beat you up. I mean, if you didn't fight back, he'd kill you. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he'd run over you like a fucking, like you thought you'd been hit by a car when he hit you. I mean, it was unbelievable. But, yeah, I had some hellacious matches with him.
That's something to remember. Yeah, talk about getting potato.
Yeah.
Adrian, man, I feel like I've been asking all the questions. You got anything to throw in?
I'm just sitting back and absorbing it all.
Jeff, you want to talk a little? Mighty quiet.
Hey, I'm sitting back reliving the memories, baby.
I know.
I'm sitting here reliving the memories.
Hey, we're fans, so I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, tell them about the night me and you wrestled each other in Mount Airy I think it was at the fair.
No, dude, that was deal with the steel, man.
No, the one with the headlock spot.
That's what I'm talking about.
Was it deal with the steel?
Yes, sir, it was. You want to tell me? You want me to tell?
Yeah, I'll let you tell that one.
All right, this is when I think this is about my 4th, 5th, maybe 6th match in, right? I can't remember. Very early in. Oh, hell. We go in there, the crowd's up. They all rocking and rolling and carrying on. They got this big...
You're listening to the Taters and Ribs Show.
For the Fuel Pro Heavyweight Championship. They knew they was going to get a good match. As soon as we lock up, I go to wrap him up into a headlock. I rear back, pop him right in the eyeball. Then I hit him into an eye. I didn't mean to hit him in the eye. All I hear is a Jesus Christ, Jeff. I think the third row out there heard him. We was outside. I did everything I could not to launch at that point. I said, well, let me get the other. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. But that was
man. I was like, God, I said, Jesus Christ, Jeff, you just punched me in the fucking eye.
man.
I had a fucking legit black eye. I got pictures of that shit. I'm gonna save that shit and hold it over your head, man.
Oh my God!
I got
Come on,
this
man.
saved. Next time
You
work and I,
mistake.
hey, next time I punch you in the eye, I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna say it's just
You
fucking
just remind me, right? Yeah,
just a receipt, man. You know.
You just get them to hold somebody and have them duck as you go to punch them.
Yeah,
There you go.
non-working bastard. He was just,
Hey, you told me. Ah!
oh damn, burn me, burn me, motherfucker.
This is the way we do all the time, guys. We just make fun of each other all day, every day. Ain't that right?
That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That was one of my favorite Jeff Flowers memories, though. Even though I did get a black fucking eye over it.
Hey, man, like I said, it was a rookie mistake. I was out there, I mean, it was a big event. All I know is I was stepping into a big match set, and I was trying to do everything I could not to fuck up, and lo and behold, boom, I fucked up right off the bat.
Yeah, I knew you were nervous. As soon as we locked up and you grabbed the headlock and punched me in the face, I knew you were nervous.
You think?
Yeah.
Hey, you were still pretty much green.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Green, yeah. I tell you a guy, one time this dude, now this guy had been wrestling a long time, but he was one of those guys that, he'd been wrestling 10 years, but he hadn't had but 10 matches. And he hit me with a fucking, the diamond cutter gimmick, the Orton thing.
Yeah.
And he told me that he was going to do it like that, and you know how that move goes. He goes, the guy that's giving you the move goes flat to his back, right? And you take the face bump. Okay, well, he didn't do that. He went to his ass.
Oh.
And I went flat and broke his nose.
Mm.
I mean, man, I heard it fucking crack like a guy. I mean, oh my God. It made me sick. It made me fucking sick, the sound of it,
Mm.
And so it cracked, and then blood starts pouring out my fucking nose. I'm like, fuck. You were supposed to go flat. What are you, man? But I'm laying there with a broke fucking nose and bleeding like hell, but see, little shit like that, man. It's little shit, But this dude, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He thought he did, but he didn't know shit.
People just don't know the risk you guys take, man.
Yeah, they don't.
It
They don't
blows
know
me
that.
away.
They do not.
Yeah.
Non-wrestling fans think it's a circus, but I mean, 100%, they don't know shit.
No, they don't. They don't understand. I've had people, tell me, "Oh man, all that fake shit, blah, blah, blah."
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. Have you ever been in there and done it? I mean, you don't, unless you went in there and took some fucking bumps, man. You don't know nothing. And I mean, people that talk shit about wrestling being fake. I mean, it's like these are the same people that are sitting here watching, a TV show or a superhero movie or whatever the fuck, and they acting like that shit's real, or a football game.
Yeah.
Look, man.
Like when I David Schultz slapped somebody because they said wrestling was fake. I was like, "Hey, is that fake?
Yeah, fake." I remember watching that when I was a little kid. I loved that shit. I remember. I never forget this. I never forget me and my mom watching that shit. It was on 2020. It came on. I think it was on Friday nights. It came on, and I remember my mom. She was like, talking about how she felt sorry for the poor little reporter, and I'm just a little dude, and I'm like, fuck him,
Yeah, he slapped the piss out of John Stossel.
Yeah, fuck him. He deserved it, man. Why? See, the thing that blows my mind, this is one of the things that kills me. Why do people feel it's so necessary, even to this day, even though the business has been exposed, even to this day, they feel it necessary to point out that it's fake, it's fake. Well, hey, motherfucker, you think Superman flew across the goddamn sky in this fucking movie? That's fake too. Your ass sit there and watched it, and you paid money to see it, and you enjoyed it. You think this dude is really fucking Iron Man? I mean, or the fucking Incredible Hulk? I mean, do you think that I could go down the list of shit, and just tell people, why the fuck are you so hard on wrestling? What is it that makes you hate wrestling so much?
I guess it's predetermined and not a sport, man. But I mean, if they only understood the psychology of it.
I understand, but see, this is the thing. I always tell people this. I don't try to tell people anymore that it's real or that the outcomes are real or whatever. I tell people this. It is entertainment and it is a show, but we are like stunt. We do our own stunts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch a Batman movie and the actor, the guy that's playing Batman, he ain't doing shit but just doing the acting. He's doing the scenes with the acting, the talking, whatever. But you got a stunt man. The stunt man's doing all the work.
Yep.
He's the one doing all the work. We do both. We do our own stunts.
The stunt man's making Batman look good.
Yeah, I mean it's it's just I don't understand why people are so down on it. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about football. Some people love football. They watch it every week and they're really into it. And that's fine. You don't see me out here talking shit to them and telling them, oh, man, that fuck. I don't go to the fucking bar, to Buffalo Wild Wings and sit there while they're watching football and say, look at this fucking bullshit,
Right.
So, why did they do that about wrestling? Wrestling is just as much of a what do you call it? An American institution as football is. It's just a different form of entertainment. It's entertainment. Everything's entertainment, man. Politics are entertainment. It's all about sure. Really, it's all entertainment. These fuckers ain't shit. These people up there, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do shit. They're just up there fucking cutting promos, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, people actually got into the psychology of it. I think they'd respect it a little bit more. They're never, and I hate to say it, they're never gonna respect y'all for the risk you take unless you're a wrestling fan and know. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, they never will.
Go ahead.
Well, they're stuck in that mentality, from years and years ago, where the wrestling was presented as being a sport. It was presented as everything is legit and everything's real. And see, they're stuck in that mentality. The fans are more stuck in that mentality than we are. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's fake, it's fake, whatever. But God, man, the business was exposed in what, 1999?
Probably before that.
Maybe before that. I'm talking about really exposed, where the wrestlers and the promoters came out and said, okay, yes, this is entertainment. But these people, and even people in the media and people in entertainment, other forms of entertainment, they act like like we're trying to present to them that it's real, that it's a legit fight, that we're trying to kill each other and all this shit. But it just doesn't make sense to me how they can still be stuck in that the business has been exposed. We know what it is, but give us the credit for what we do, man. We're up here honoring these fucking people at the Emmys and the Oscars and all this fucking shit, and everybody thinks these people are like gods, these actors and shit. And what the fuck? What's the difference? What's the difference?
What about the guy that's risking his life every time he steps through that ring to make sure that the people that are paying their hard-earned money to see him have a good time and enjoy the show?
Exactly. And you got football and baseball and basketball players that people worship these guys and everything, but then they want to look at wrestlers like, oh man, fake shit.
Like they're second rate athletes.
Yeah, it's the farthest thing from the truth. I mean, but if you talk to guys that have been in other forms, other athletics and other sports, they respect us. If the ones that's ever done it, the ones that's taken part in it, is getting in and taking some bumps and know what it's about. They respect us.
Oh yeah, they just don't see it like we do. Like to see a heel getting cheered and to be able to, I'm not even talking about wrestling and taking bumps, but like on the mic, see a heel getting cheered and to be able to on the fly just turn around and get them boos back. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that amazes me.
Absolutely. There's a lot of things about the wrestling and about going out there and doing this that people take it for granted. It's some people think it's a walk in the park, but it's not. It's not a walk in the park, man.
Oh no, I can imagine, man. Just what you do is more than a full-time job.
Do I now?
I can imagine being a wrestler and a promoter is more than a full-time job.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm having issues right now. My back and neck is fucked up. I mean, I've had one neck surgery. I hope I don't have to have another one. But I've known guys in the business that had to have neck surgery. I've known two guys I can name right off the top of my head. But one of them, he had one neck surgery, and then he had to go back and have another neck surgery, and that was the end. That was it. He never was able to wrestle anymore, and he's on disability. And, that tells you. I mean, and then I know a young guy that had to have neck surgery, and he's still active now, but that could have been the end of him. That ain't no joke when you have neck surgery.
Oh yeah, they still got to be careful. I mean, damn, there's mega stars that's had broken necks, and they were never the same again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it changes everything, man.
Oh yeah,
it changes. I mean, in the ring, outside the ring, the pain that you deal with on a daily basis. See, people don't understand that if you've never experienced being in constant pain, then you have no fucking idea what that will do to you as a person, as a human being, as just your personality changes. You're a different person when you're in constant fucking pain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It does a lot to you that people don't understand. And I can say that, unfortunately, I can tell you that I'm one of those people that is in constant fucking pain. But I don't regret anything, man. I don't regret anything because I wanted to do this since I was a 9 or 10-year-old little boy, and so I'm thankful for the opportunity that I've been able to do it, even, on the level that I've been able to do it on. All I wanted to do was just be a wrestler.
Right.
I never wanted to go to, WWE. I never cared about, going to Japan or anything. I never cared about any of that shit. I just wanted to be a wrestler. I just wanted to wrestle. I knew it would be fun. I knew it would be a good time. I knew I could do it. I knew that I thought that I could present, good matches and put together some good shit. And I went out. I paid my money. I got trained. I went through all the channels and with the old school promoters and, and all that kind of shit. And that's all I ever really wanted to do. And so I don't regret anything. But I mean, I am definitely paying for it. All those bumps I took, I'm paying for it today.
Oh,
Absolutely. I'm 43 years old, and my fucking back is killing me. It hurts me every fucking day. I've had to have the neck surgery. My neck hurts. I think my shoulder's fucked up too. I'm not sure, but I know there's something wrong with it because I can't pick anything up and hold it like if you were lifting weights and you did the side lateral raises. I can't do that with my right arm. I can't do it because my shoulder's fucked up, and so you will pay a heavy fucking price in this business. You will pay your body will pay a heavy fucking price, but I wouldn't trade a minute of it for anything in the world. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all, and I don't know how much time I got left to do it, but I'm going to do it until I can't do it no more.
Well, I'll tell you, anytime I see you, even to this day, you look like you're having the time of your life when you're out there in that ring and doing your thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love the guys I'm working with. So that's the main thing. For me nowadays, it's just like I want to work with people that I like, and I want to work with people that I can have good matches with. And there's this thing we call it in the wrestling business, blind dates. Well, when you show up at a building, you show up in a town or whatever, and you don't know who the fuck you're wrestling, you don't know who these people are, whatever. They may on the independents, and you might be showing up to work some fucking idiot that don't know shit. You never know. You never know. But if you find out who you're working, you know who the guy is. Then, it helps to know. But if you just go to a building and you don't know who the fuck you got, that's a bad thing. But when I was 23 or 25, 26, whatever, it didn't bother me because I knew I could have a good match with anybody, and I was physically able to have a good match with anybody. If the shit got out of hand and it wasn't working, I just fucking, take over and kick his ass. but now, see, I'm older and my body's fucked up and everything. And I tell promoters now when they try to book me, I don't really do a lot of stuff outside of Pure Pro, and I do, and there's a reason for that. I've got people contacting me about coming in and working, but I don't want to. I don't want to work anywhere else because, first of all, I want my main focus to be on Pure Pro, and everything I got left in me, I want to dedicate to Pure Pro Wrestling because that's my company, and that's what I have built and what I've been building for 10 years. And I want to do, what I can do for that. So I don't really have anything left for other promotions. But my thing is I want to save my body for Pure Pro, what I got left. I don't know how much I got left, but I will save what I got for Pure Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, I've seen Pure Pro grow a lot over the years. I think when I first started coming around, you didn't have a cage, you didn't have a barricade. You may have had 2 rings, but yeah,
no,
man.
I had 2 rings at one time, but I sold one of them, and I wish I'd have kept it. Really, to be honest with you, right now we're working with a 16-foot ring, and I really would prefer we had an 18-foot.
Right.
But see, Pelham is our main town.
Oh yeah.
Like Pelham is like our studio wrestling deal. Back in the day, we had the studio wrestling. Pelham is like our studio wrestling, and we need a 16-foot ring for Pelham because of the size of the building. It's so small. See, when we had an 18-foot ring in Pelham, we were drawing so many people that we were having to sit people on the floor. And so, the 16-foot ring works better in Pelham. But some of these bigger buildings like Yanceyville, you could use an 18-foot. But,
Oh yeah, I've been to both, and I'm gonna put Pelham over for a minute. I don't know who's cooking them or who used to cook them, but they have a little kitchen there. Best chili dogs I've ever had.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, other people have said that too. You remember Rob McBride?
Yeah, well, I remember the name.
Rob the Bull McBride. When I first met him, he was Rob the Bull McBride, and but now he's Boogie Woogie Man Rob McBride. But yeah, he really loves those hot dogs.
Oh yeah,
he put them over big time.
See, I'm in Martinsville now, man, and you know the Speedway here is pretty famous for that. Pelham puts some hot dogs to shame.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I can touch that too. Yeah, I've had them there, and I've had them at Pelham too. Yeah,
they do.
Oh yeah,
they got some hot dogs, and you know that little store down the road from Pelham, they got some good hamburgers too.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I didn't try all the burgers, but I got my first speeding ticket down in this area, right there in front of that store.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've had a couple over there in Pelham myself.
Yeah, that was probably a decade ago, and it was a little bit pricey, but you know, I don't regret it.
Yeah, they'll sock it to you, man.
Yeah.
I'm in Richmond, and the only thing I think Richmond's known for now is decent beer.
Oh, I love that. I wrestled in Richmond. It's been a couple of years ago, and is Jeff? A couple
2 years ago, I think.
We did the one in Richmond at that brewery, or it was a bar or something.
Yeah, it was a fucking loft we wrestled in. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it was everybody was drunk. It was yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with wrestling and drinking.
Exactly. Yeah, these people. It was standing room only.
I mean, wrestling and drinking was like a normal Saturday night for me growing up.
Yeah, I remember going to the Coliseum and everybody being drunk. I go to the Coliseum in Greensboro. I remember everybody being drunk.
Hell, they're tearing the Coliseum down in Richmond.
Oh no!
Oh, come on!
Kidding. Sucks ass.
Adrian.
Yeah, it does.
Adrian, tell them about our experience at DC last week at the AEW premiere. We had a suite, and we ordered a 6-pack of beer. Adrian, man, tell them about that.
$54 motherfucking dollars later.
6-pack of 16 ounces, $54.
Yes. You know, I'm not surprised because they jacked these prices up on the alcohol and play. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is
$9 for a 16-ounce beer.
Yeah. Right. Well, if you go to some of these places, even $5 for a bottle of beer, man. Jesus Christ, I can buy a 6-pack for $8.
Yep.
And I know. I mean, I know. Next time we go to a big event like that, I'm getting pissy ass drunk before we go.
That's the way to go. The way to do it is to go to the local bar, whatever it is, and get your fucking drink on before you get there.
Yep.
And then just get you one beer to sip on while you're there at the event. Yeah, they're fucking crazy, man. Crazy with these prices.
Well, I'll tell y'all, when I go to a Pure Pro show, I stay sober because I got my family with me and I'm driving. But when it's a big show like that, you know, and I don't got my kids with me, I'm gonna get my drink on and have a little fun for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we were buzzed walking around DC.
Yeah, hell of a time.
Nothing major. I mean, we got off the metro train, and we hit the street, and all I smell is fucking reefer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
because weed's legal in DC.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is complete. It's legal for recreational use in DC, so that's all I smell.
People were walking down the street smoking joints like it was a cigarette. I mean, everywhere.
Wow.
100%. Yeah.
I did not know that.
But I hear if you get drunk in public in DC, it's a federal crime. So
It is. It's a federal crime.
Oh, I've been in the penitentiary then. I've been arrested for drunk in public several times. I've been in the penitentiary if I was in D.C.
Adrian, that's where we messed up. We should have just got high instead of drinking.
Yeah, we should have.
The last time I was in D.C., the day before Ronald Reagan's funeral.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here before the shit really, before it really gets packed. Because, I mean, it was big. The place was fucking packed. And we left the day before the funeral and got the fuck out of there because, man, it was just too many people, man.
Oh, yeah.
You get trapped down there in the city.
I mean, if you're going there for an event or something, it's a good time if you have a way out. But yeah, something like that, I could only imagine. It'd be a horrible time.
Oh, it was a fucking madhouse. It was a madhouse. We left the day before, but the day of was much worse. I watched it on TV.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad we got the fuck out of there,
Oh, yeah, especially for something like that.
Yeah, it was terrible. That's how I remember. That's how I remember the last time I was in D.C. because it was the day before Reagan's funeral.
See, I've only been up there for like wrestling and concerts, and I'll say I've had a good time every time. But that's walking around the city, checking stuff out, half buzzed, found a couple strip clubs.
Yeah.
That's a whole different scenario.
I was with this chick when I went, man, and I don't even remember what the fuck we did. I remember going to a couple of monuments and shit, but I had already done that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And I remember going to the Holocaust Museum, and don't get me started on that.
I grew up in DC, so the museums were like nothing to me. That's like a Saturday trip.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's no big deal. But I went with this chick, and she was wanting to go here and go there, and she was all about traveling and stuff. And she told me, I like adventure. And I'm thinking, bitch, you ain't never had an adventure. Shut the fuck up.
I will put this one bar over. I don't even know if it's still open. It was like 2006 or 7 when I was up there. Stayed open until 4 a.m. The place was so packed, you could barely move. But when you walked in, and being a wrestling fan, you notice this. There's a giant sticker on the door, and it's a picture of Andre the Giant. So that stood out to me,
Yeah, I like that. That sounds like a great bar, especially the fact they're open till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dig that now.
Yeah, but you go outside and you hear somebody running from the cops or something, so it kind of throws you off. But other than that,
hey, I was speaking of somebody running from the cops. We were at a show in Roanoke, and this fucking guy comes in. Now, I didn't see this myself. I was in the back, but I got told from the people that were working the door that the cops come in there and said, have you seen this guy? Have you seen so-and-so? And they started to describe him, and they're like, no. They said, what does he look like? They said, oh, you would know him if you seen him. He had handcuffs on.
Oh,
so this fucking guy had escaped from the police and was running through the area we were doing the show in. It was terrible.
Yeah. When I was outside, because you could. That's right when you could. They made the law where you can't smoke inside a bar. We were outside smoking, half drunk, and a dude runs across. I guess if you know DC, it's all in blocks. Dude runs from across the corner. Yeah, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. Me and my brother-in-law, we're like, all right, exit, stage left.
Yeah, damn right.
We wound up in like a Mexican bar, and that was actually pretty fun too. That's another story for another time.
I went to a Mexican restaurant one time, in Greensboro. Now, this was not a like an American Mexican restaurant. This was like the real deal.
Right.
When I was, see, I didn't know that at the time. I'm just looking to eat some Mexican food, right? So I go in there and these fucking dudes, everybody in there is Mexican, right? So I ain't really thinking nothing about it. I sit down. Here comes a little girl. Take my order. She's Mexican, and I look at the menu, and everything's a little bit different than it is like on the American, Americanized Mexican food. And I get to talking to this chick and everything, and I ordered my food, and it was horrible. It was not the Americanized Mexican food that I was used to. Yeah. And there was this fucking guy sitting next to me. I mean, sitting like in the booth across from me. And he was sitting there with his friend, and he's crying. He was like crying his eyes out. And I'm sitting there trying to eat my food, but I'm just like looking at this dude. He's like, he's bawling, man. He's crying. And he looks at his friend and says, "She left me, man. She left me. She left me for a fucking American." And I'm like the only motherfucking white dude in there. I mean, like, I'm literally the only fucking white dude in there. I'm the only American, only white guy.
So you're kind of like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh shit. And he keeps saying it. He said it like 3 times. She left me for a fucking American. And here I am sitting here, only motherfucker in there. I'm like, oh fuck. This shit is going to fucking go down tonight. But luckily, he just cried. And I ate my food, what I could eat of it, and I left.
Yeah, I'd have stayed away from that.
Yeah, nasty, brother. Nasty.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know what kind of music y'all are into. I'm gonna go back to DC for a minute. That same year, I went with my brother-in-law, same guy, to a Ozzy Osbourne concert. We didn't know DC for shit. Well, we got lost coming back out of there and wound up with, like, not to get racial, but like an all black strip club. And we're a couple guys just came in from a heavy metal concert.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we were a little bit out of place. It was a 1 beer minimum, so we had to sit there and drink our beer, and
Oh yeah, yeah. The ones I've been to, the strip clubs I've been to, most of them are 3 drink minimums.
Oh wow.
And I've only had one of them really fuck with me about the drinks. Like, I be milking my drink, and they fuck with you about it. But some of these damn girls, man, at these strip clubs, they're like desperate, I guess. I don't know what the deal is, but they want to fucking hound you, Like I could tell you some really fucked up stories about the strip club. I mean, I've been to a bunch of them, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been to a bunch of strip clubs over the years, and some of them are much better than others in quality of women, and plus the way they treat you. I've had them just like, bouncers at the door. I've had them stop me and like look at my clothes and shit, and tell me I couldn't come in. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I've been to a bar or two like that. Yep.
Well, I'm trying to relax. I'm not trying to get dressed up in a fucking suit, to come and hang out. I mean, fuck, what's your problem? But I mean, that's just the way it is. I had a guy pull a fucking gun on me one night at a strip club. His motherfucking looked like a goddamn fucking Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry fucking gun. It was crazy, man. It's crazy.
See, I'm pretty pro Second Amendment, and I do got a concealed carry license. But if I'm gonna go out and I'm getting drunk or having a good time, I try to leave that away, because you know, man, you're gonna get all messed up in the head. You don't know what you're gonna do. You know.
Oh, exactly.
I'd
Yeah,
like to think
absolutely.
I'd be pretty safe about it, but I don't want to chance it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me neither. Dude.
I'm the kind of guy that likes to flip out and throw punches and chairs and shit.
That's different. That's all
You
good fun.
it would be, it would be better really if now don't get me wrong, I'm pro gun myself, but it would probably be better if people just fought it out,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, just take it out back and just beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah, exactly. I
That's
mean,
how
but
I used
see,
to do it.
you can't do that anymore. I mean, somebody will fucking shoot you nowadays, and I mean, I can't say I blame them. I mean, here's the thing: if a big fucking 400-pound motherfucker, 6'5", comes running at me and tackles my ass, I can't fucking. I mean, I ain't gonna be able to beat this guy. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, you gotta have some kind of equalizer. I don't really want to stab anybody. That's some fucking savage shit. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a different day and age, man.
Oh, brother, I've had dudes come up to me in bars. Look, let me tell you this: when I first started wrestling, this is how fucked up people are and their mentality. When I first started wrestling, I got a lot of notoriety. Like I got a little push, and I got a bunch of plugs in the newspaper and on the radio and all this shit. Because here it is, man. Young boy, 20 years old, starting wrestling from Danville. He's went and trained with a Jimi Valiant and da 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 da. And I got the newspaper article and all this shit, man. Man, I had motherfuckers attack me in bars. Like I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere, man. I mean, I'm not shitting you. This is a fucked up shit that people don't understand. That I went through this shit. See,
was that the hardcore herd of fans that think that it is real and
well, it was people that were jealous, people that were just fucking assholes. Whatever you want to call it, man. They wanted to fight me. I mean, I had people that I worked with. This is like 1997. So I'm still working in Dan River at the mill.
Okay, yeah.
This is when the Dan River mill was still running, and I was working at this warehouse out here, and I had fucking people I work with challenged me to a fucking fight. They wanted to fight me because I was in a newspaper as a wrestler. I mean, goddamn, dude. I'm not, what have I done to you? I mean, this is how fucking stupid people are.
Sounds like an ego thing to me.
This is how fucking ignorant they are.
Yep.
They just want to fucking, oh man, fuck you, man. And they want to fight. I'm like, what the fuck? I had a guy jump on me in a bar one night. This motherfucker, I'm standing there talking to him. Next thing I know, this motherfucker done grab me in a headlock. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And I shove him off of me, and he tries to grab me again. And I shove him off. I look at his woman was standing there with him. I look at her, and I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, it's like wrestling is a dance, dude, but I'll knock your head off.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking crazy, man.
Have you had any fans attack you, like, when you were a heel that literally legit thought you were a heel and being legit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had it happen a couple of times. I had to be escorted out of the Lynchburg. We were in Lynchburg, and this is a really good story because this is like one of my favorite. I worked Rick Kelly that night, and Rick Kelly was the baby face. I was the heel, and I had. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember this guy who used to work the bars around Danville and different places? His name was Rodney, and they had a band called Jagged Edge.
I've heard the band. Yep.
And Hootie and the Blowfish stole their gimmick. No, for real. Hootie and the Blowfish Stole their fucking gimmick. Hey, hold on one second. Hold on one second.
All right.
All right, I'm with you, man. I got my kids asleep. I gotta be quiet. But yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm going downstairs. If I lose you, I'll call you back, or you call me back.
All right.
But Hootie and the Blowfish stole their fucking gimmick. It was a black dude. The rest of the band was white, and there's a black dude, and he sounded just like him. But they came out before Hootie, and it was crazy. They used to play all the bars and everything. But anyway, he wanted to get in wrestling, and so he was my manager that night. And man, there was like a fucking 1,000 people at the Armory in Lynchburg. It was unbelievable. It was the biggest crowd I had ever been in front of. And, you know, I'm like 20-something years old. I ain't been in business no time. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is fucking crazy. And so anyway, I'm working with Rick Kelly. And we did some old spot, you know, whatever. I think we put him over. And I had got so much heat from the crowd that I had to be escorted out of the building. I had to be escorted back to the dressing room and out of the building. They were trying to follow me out to the building to my car. And I had the same thing happen to me in Eden one time where they tried to follow me out. There was people cussing me and following me, and they cussed me all the way to my car. And the police were walking with me. I had a cop walking with me, and they were still cussing me, calling me every kind of motherfucker they could think of. I had fans attack me. I've had a fan jump up and attack me in fucking Pelham. He tried to grab me, like I guess he was gonna try to do a wrestling hold or something on me that he thought he could do. And when he reached down and grabbed my leg, I just hit that motherfucker, uppercut his fucking ass right in the face. And he fell down, started screaming, and I started kicking him. I went down on top of him, and he tried to fight back. I'll give him credit. He tried to fight back. He come up and like tried to pin me against, you know, trying to grab my legs. But see, when he grabbed my legs, I just fell back against the steps. And I just started coming up with uppercuts to his fucking face. Boom, boom, boom. I beat that motherfucker black and blue. And I was like, man, motherfucker, if you're going to jump on me, you're going to know you done been in some shit. I mean, you might whip my ass, but you going to fucking know how you was with me. You know what I mean?
Well, most fans don't realize it's the cardio it takes to actually wrestle, you know?
Yeah. But see, there's another thing they don't understand, too. A fight, man, a fight's over and just, you know, like we go out there and we work, we wrestle for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes, whatever you're doing. But a real fucking fight is not going to last very long.
No. Somebody's getting knocked out.
So you have to create. What you have to do is you have to inflict the most fucking damage that you can inflict in the shortest period of time. Yep. And that's the way you win a fight.
Yep.
That's the only way you're going to win a fight is to inflict the most amount of fucking damage in the shortest period of time. Because nobody's going to go out there and fight. It ain't like a goddamn boxing match. Ain't nobody going to go out there and fucking do 12 rounds. Motherfucker, I'm going to fucking try to kill you in the first round. You know?
Yeah. Ain't no such thing as a fair fight. That's something I've always been told.
In the first 3 minutes, you jump on me, I'm going to try to disable your fucking ass in the first 3 minutes. And I mean disable.
No doubt. Like, motherfucker, you're trying to hurt me? Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But I ain't never been one of these guys. I see wrestlers get mad at the fans and you know, and want to, you know, they start shit with the fans. I've never been like that. I've never done that. If they want to start some shit with me, that's different. But you will never see me go out there and get overexcited and you know, want to start some shit with a fan and make this fan want to fight me. I get heat, man, but it's not like that. See, the thing about it is getting heat nowadays is not the same as it used to be. Real heat now does not sell tickets. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Real heat does not sell tickets. It drives people away. You need to keep the people in the mindset that, hey, it is a controlled environment and it is a show. Because then they're going to bring their kids, and then they're going to bring their cousin, then they're going to bring their, their uncle and their mama and whatever. You're not going to sell any tickets by going out there and spitting on a fan.
No, but I will tell you, some fans do cross the line. I've seen that personally. But then,
absolutely they do. But you're never going to sell any tickets by spitting on a fan or smacking a fan, or you're not going to sell any tickets that way.
Oh no, man, because you're pushing away your audience.
Yeah, they're just not going to come back. And guys don't understand that. There's different theories. There's a lot of different theories about it, but my theory is, and what I think works, and what I have known to work, and I've put it into, it's not one of those things where I'm just saying, oh, well, this works and I've never tried it. No, this is shit that I have experienced and I see it. You're not going to sell any fucking tickets by getting real heat. Not like that. When I say real heat, I'm talking about the heat from back in the day.
Right, like go away heat.
Like what?
Like go away heat. Like, motherfucker, I don't want to see you no more heat.
That's go away heat. It's the kind of heat Jeff Flowers gets.
I think we lost him, actually.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, it looks like we got two people. Adrian, you still there?
Hey, he said call him back. I just got the message. He said call him back.
All right, I could do that. Adrian, you still there?
Yeah, you're about to lose me, though. I'm over here nodding off. I've been up since like 4:30 this morning.
That's cool, man. We can wind it on down, brother. It's cool.
All right, man. Jimmy, if you don't mind, if you want to come back again another night in the next couple weeks, that'd be awesome. I really enjoyed this.
Absolutely, brother. I'll be glad to.
All right. I'm going to put this out here as soon as possible. So you want to send a message to your opponents this Saturday night?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. JPJ, J.R. Martin, Saturday night, Yanceyville, North Carolina. You are in for the fight of your life. This is going to be your life on the line. You're putting your life on the line to become Pure Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, because I'm coming at you with everything I got. Jeff Flowers is coming with you. He's coming with everything he's got. And we are going to tear your ass down. We're going to break you down. It's on like neck bone. And I like neck bone, baby.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they're in for a fight. I want to ask this just for a personal favor. When you come to the ring, you give a certain promo. Any way you could do that for us tonight?
Which one is that? The Mr. Electricity.
Yes.
Oh, man, I am coming to you live from Love Street, USA. Mr. Electricity, Mr. Charisma, Mr. Showtime, handsome Jimi Love.
I love it. All right, bro. It's been good talking to you, man. I really would love y'all to come back, next couple weeks.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Yes, sir, man. I had the time of my life tonight.
Man, we should do it live. We should do one at the show and do the whole live podcast thing.
Dude, that'd be great. I need to get Adrian down here, but I'm sure we can work that out within the next month or so. Yeah, a couple months probably.
Oh, I love that.
I mean, we could get this 8-man thing going.
Yeah. Got the stable, baby. Got the stable.
Yeah. Cornbread, buttermilk, taters, and ribs.
I love it. I love it.
Adrian, man, we'll work on that, man. I'll help you out any way I can to make this happen.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, exactly. I got me some ribs upstairs. I'm gonna eat.
All right,
Speaking
well,
of ribs,
just let Jeff know, man. We went a little long and didn't realize he was gone until it was about late, and we'll do this
that's
again
cool.
for
I'll let
sure.
him know.
Yeah, and one more thing, I helped him, and I believe Jimmy Valiant in 2017 set up a ring for you. So I just want to tell you that was about the time of my life right there.
He did what now?
Jeff and a few other people, and I believe Jimmy Valiant was there. We sat up around. I believe it was your first night in Rocky Mount, if I ain't mistaken.
Oh yeah.
And when I realized who it was in that trailer, I got starstruck and couldn't even talk to him.
Oh wow, yeah, Boogie. I love Boogie, man.
Yes, sir.
He gave him my start. Without Boogie, there would be no Jimmy Love. You know.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I love it. He's great.
My old man used to be obsessed with Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah. My mom loved him. She loved him.
Oh yeah, Daddy did too, man. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let's do this again. We're gonna call this a night, I guess. It was awesome talking to y'all tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Y'all be good. Be good. Be careful out there. Whatever you're doing, and we'll hook it up again. We'll do it again.
Yep.
We shall.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll talk to some of the guys, some of the other guys too, this weekend about calling in and doing your podcast.
All right, good deal.
That'll be great.
All right, cool deal, brother.
Yeah, man. There's a few I have in mind that's on my Facebook, so I'm gonna be trying to contact them shortly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aubrey Wright. Shoot, I can name a few. Bobby G. Even I want to talk to a referee for sure.
Oh yeah. You need to talk to Bobby G. There's a lot of guys, man, on the roster that's been around a long time. That's got a lot of good stories. And then you got, Bobby. He's been around about 5 years maybe, but he's got some good stories too. He don't have as much experience as some of the others, but he's definitely got some good stories.
Oh yeah, no, man. If we could help promote y'all in any way, just shoot us a line, and we'll do what we can, man, for sure.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. I appreciate every bit of help I can get with promoting this brand. I mean, we're trying to keep it alive, brother. We're trying to keep old school wrestling alive.
Yes, sir. And it used to be I wanted to get in the business, and I'd still like to referee if I could be trained to, but right now, this podcast, man, and learning stories and things like that, man, it's been a trip, and I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be on anytime you want me, man.
All right, good deal, man. And I don't know how to end this, to be honest with you.
I tell you what, we'll just end it, and we'll promise the people that Jimmy Love shall return on an asteroid next week.
Yes, sir.
Well, within the next few weeks, Jimmy Love will come back around on an asteroid as I circle the planet, the king of the Mid-Atlantic. I shall bring my beer, and we shall have more of a discussion, more in depth. And maybe Jeff Flowers can stay on the fucking line.
Just don't spend $54 on that beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here on Love Street, USA.
Right here, baby. Right here.
All right, brother. It's been good, man. You have a good one now.
All right, you too, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Later.
Later.
You're very welcome.
Yay!